of them were layups. So you have to understand, in any business, what is driving your success? What is it? It's not Jalen Hurts. PFF has it right. The weakness of that team is, against the Rams, they threw for 65 yards. Thank God for Jalen Carter and their defense and those great corners and Saquon Barkley and those receivers and that O-line. Two things can be true. You can be great in moments with a stacked roster. It doesn't make you Dan Marino. Here was Chris Sims last week on Jalen Hurts.
With Jalen Hurts and what I look at too, we have a little bit of a revisionist history here. He won the Super Bowl and everybody just forgot about the 10 weeks before that we were like, wait, the passing game and the quarterback was the issue. All right. He had a good NFC championship game. I know that. But divisional game, we were like, man, the quarterback and the passing game. Wild card game, we were like, man, the passing game and the quarterback not looking good. The last 7 or 8 weeks of the year, his top receiver said, what's wrong with the team? The passing game.
What are you talking about right now? Oh my God. First off, he didn't throw for 60 yards. Oh my God. You want to talk about revisionist history? Okay. First off, it was a snowstorm. Okay. It was a snowstorm. And he threw for 128 yards, had a 91.2 passer rating, and he rushed for 70 yards. And had a 44-yard touchdown. Like, I don't understand. I really don't. And I have a whole video breaking this all down. I just recorded a 40-minute video, but then I just saw this clip and I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta add to this. I gotta add to this because this is insane. Lamar Jackson threw for 175 yards in his wild card round. Baker Mayfield, 185. Let's see what good old Patrick Mahomes did now too. Remember this game? Josh Allen threw for 127 yards in the divisional round. Patrick Mahomes, 177. Josh Allen had 0 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes had 1 touchdown. So I don't understand. What are we talking about here? Those quarterbacks threw for like no yards. And yet, Josh Allen had 20 rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes had 14 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts at least had 70 rushing yards. And 10 yards per attempt. So what are we talking about here? Like, seriously. It's such insanity. It really is. You want to downplay what Jalen Hurts did in those games. It's insane. First of all, oh my God. I can't even, for the life of me, I just don't get it. For the life of me, I just don't get it. How we have these other great quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, throwing for just peanuts, essentially. And yet it's all okay. But Jalen Hurts does it, and you bash him. But Jalen Hurts actually still had to contribute to his team winning with his legs, something that Mahomes and Josh Allen didn't even need to do, and yet we just are going to forget that. I mean, here's a game. Here's the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles that I think Dan Orlovsky points it out beautifully. Jalen Hurts actually played a great game. He managed the game exactly how he needed to, which directly led them to win the game.
I don't watch that game yesterday and get concerned about the performance by Jalen Hurts. I do have concerns about the pass game, though, because when I watch the tape, I go, nobody's open. And they're way too talented of a group to get people open. Now, credit Green Bay, but it felt like when I watched the tape, Green Bay knew exactly where people were going to be. There's nowhere for Jalen Hurts to throw this football, and so he has to kind of throw this ball as a throwaway, and it's a 2 or 3 yard completion. Down in the red zone, where? I mean, everybody's gripped up. There's nowhere to throw the ball. Maybe Saquon in the back corner float, but that's by the time that happens, he's leaving the pocket pocket. Another opportunity, you're down in the red zone, you want to run a screen. Green Bay's all over it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like Green Bay had such an idea of they're going to run this stuff out of these looks or these actions. Again, nobody open, and by the time someone might late, even though I don't think they're actually open, Jalen's got to leave the pocket. And so everyone was having the conversation if Jalen Hurts was so bad yesterday. Look it, there's nobody on the field that's open.
Yeah.
Green Bay has matched up everything and everybody. And so
Yeah. So maybe you understand what you're talking about when you start talking. I mean, there was a spot in the game that I couldn't find right now where the Eagles fans were even booing because I think they just handed the ball off. And, you know, Tom Brady himself comes out and says, no, this is the right play. Be smart. You're winning. You're playing well. Your defense is playing well. There's no reason to do anything more than what you're doing. So again, it's good enough for Tom Brady, but it's not good enough for Sims and Colin, I guess. I mean, it's just so insane. And again, that was just against the Packers I just showed you, and I already kind of talked about the Rams game. And against the Rams, again, it was a snowstorm, a literal snowstorm. Jalen Hurts' knees all messed up. He rips off a 44-yard rushing touchdown, and he would have had another passing touchdown if A.J. Brown didn't drop the ball. And Jalen Hurts threw a beautiful ball to Devontae, where Devontae got his head knocked. There's a literal head knocked off that ended up being just a 15-yard penalty, which then people started talking about, like, you know, this is kind of crazy that you can have that play and it only ends up being a 15-yard penalty rather than like a pass, rather than like a spot foul, which again took away like 30-some. I mean, like, if you really want to count it, Jalen Hurts would have thrown for like over 200 yards and would have rushed for, you know, however many yards it was. What was it, 70? What did I say? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, 70. So he easily would have rushed. He easily would have had well over 200 total yards that game. And multiple touchdown passes. And obviously a rushing touchdown. And yet we want to just pretend like it was nothing. And thank God for Jalen Carter. In 2023, Patrick Mahomes was able to only score 17 points against the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens only scored 10 points. I guess thank God for the defense. Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl throwing 182 yards. A Super Bowl throwing for 182 yards. Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl throwing for 286. Pretty good. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 78.1 rating, and a 61.9 completion percentage. I guess thank God for Jimmy Garoppolo. Throughout the entire playoffs, just for passing alone, Jalen Hurts was top 4 out of all the playoff performers. Now, Russell Wilson played a whole game, one whole game. Congrats on that, bud. And Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback in the top 4 that actually played every single game. Patrick Mahomes had the bye. Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Jayden Daniels, obviously all knocked out. From a passing touchdown, Jalen Hurts had 5 passing touchdowns to 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We know a couple of those touchdowns were a little bit of a freebies in the Super Bowl. We know that. We could remove 2 of those touchdowns. We know that. Jalen Hurts, big-time throws. Led all playoffs with 8 big-time throws. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. I guess he's just that bad of a passer. Was also number 2 overall in completion percentage. Just weird, man. Just weird stuff. Again, top 4 should be top 3 because we can't really count Russell Wilson. He played 1 whole game. A 108.6 passer rating. But the O-line. He was top 2 in pressures. he was pressured the second most. So, weird. That is weird. And his overall offensive rating was number 2. Again, the top 5. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is all the way down at 9. Throughout Patrick Mahomes' entire playoff run, Patrick Mahomes was the 9th best from an offensive rating. Jalen Hurts was 2nd. And again, he's the only one that actually, played all the games, went to the Super Bowl. So there's more opportunities for him to do worse. That's just... You want to talk about who has revisionist history? Look in the mirror, bud. Look in the mirror. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts having such a passing problem? Again, I have another video coming out. It's a long one. It's a significantly bigger deep dive, and it'll it's a lot more passionate and a lot more energetic, because I had just recorded that, and then I just came across this part of the clip that I was like, oh, I gotta address this. I gotta address this nonsense that they're now trying to downplay what Jalen Hurts did now specifically about the playoff run, while the other video is more general about everything else. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.